what this current NBA superstar said about Cooper Flagg and his situation with the Dallas Mavericks. And we kick off today's show with a major guest announcement. All that and more coming up next on the DLLS Mavs podcast. Hey, what's up, DLLS Mavs Nation? It's your man, Kevin Gray, alongside Mavericks beat writer Tim Cato, Mavericks analyst Bobby Carella. We, of course, are DLLS Mavs, your favorite guys covering your favorite team, especially during anniversary week here at DLLS Sports. Really appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on our show today. What LeBron James says about Cooper Flagg and his situation with the Dallas Mavericks. Plus, PJ Washington, is he on the brink a contract extension with the Dallas Mavericks? A lot to get to on today's episode. But before we get into anything show today, let's get to our Die Hard sale that we've got going on right now. Join the football club right now. We've got our $36 intro offer right now to become a Die Hard with DLLS Sports. You sign up for your first year. Click the QR code if you're watching. If you're listening, go to alldlls.com. Just $36 to join us right now to become a diehard member with our Join the Football Club sale that we've got going on for diehards. We've got football season right around the corner. We had week 0 of college football. The NFL season is mere days away when your Cowboys take on Philadelphia Eagles in week 1 of the National Football League. We've also got some new shirts to go along with that as well, which we'll tell you about throughout the course of the show as well on this, as my daughter dubbed it on the way to school today, gentlemen, a remarkable Monday.
That's not an alliteration.
That's my daughter, so if she wants it to make it alliteration, that's exactly what we're going to have it be.
It's not one.
You're supposed to leave it where it is after I say that.
You could just be cool. She is a child.
You just leave it where it is.
All I'm asking is that she calls it a Remarkable Monday.
She did that, and then I was like, it's remarkable, but Daddy will allow it because there's an M in it. So there we go. Remarkable Monday.
Well, let's call it Mnemonic Monday, if we're just going to go with M's.
All right.
Hi,
on with the show.
How are you today?
I'm lovely. I went to Austin this weekend. Went to,
okay.
Went to the Springs, Barton Springs. Was there yesterday.
Good time?
I don't really tan. My arm just looks, it's not burnt, I swear. I've been sunburned in the past. It just I tan in a way that just looks a little bit more red.
Okay.
Or maybe it's like the ever slightest sunburn. Trust me, I've been sunburned in the past. I know never to do that again. It's not a burn, but yeah, so I don't look more tan, but I feel more tan. And that's a great feeling internally,
right, cool.
Especially for a man of my whiteness.
Well, I'm tan every day, so it works out pretty good for me. Bobby, what's going on, man? How are we feeling?
Doing well. Yesterday, I went on the Locked On Mavs podcast.
Okay.
With my guy Isaac Harris.
Let's go.
Someone in the comments noted that I'm the only person that looks younger as my beard gets longer.
Okay.
So normally, I guess the implication is that as you grow a beard, you begin to look older.
Mm-hmm.
But this commenter suggested that for me, it's the opposite, which I don't know. I don't think that the beard makes me look younger. I did get a haircut. I think shorter hair makes me look a little younger.
Mm-hmm.
But let me know, how old do I look? And then also, this is not our major guest announcement, but this is also a great guest announcement. Isaac Harris is going to be joining us in studio on Friday for our movie club as we review the hit film Air Bud.
You hear that, Isaac? You're not a major guest.
No, I said he's a great guest. But compared
to placated with the great
compared
guest
to the guest
minor guests.
Compared to the guests we're about to announce, I didn't want to fool people or try and upstage our guest. Isaac is coming on Friday. We have another guest coming in tomorrow. They're both terrific. How about that? They're both equally awesome.
Well, since we're announcing the guests, I got one coming on Wednesday. Jason Gallagher can join the program on Wednesday.
Oh, let's go.
At 12:15, so be sure to tune in for that.
It's a guest-filled week.
It is a guest-filled week. In fact, you might even hear from a certain guy who loves the Mavericks who works at the ALLCITY Network too a little bit later on this weekend as well. But let's get to our major show announcement as we are celebrating anniversary week here at DLLS Sports. Tomorrow is our official 1-year anniversary for our beautiful network, and our guest joining us tomorrow at 12:30 is Mark Cuban, going to be joining us live in studio tomorrow. So mark your calendar. Special time tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30.
Yes.
Mark Cuban will be joining us. Check this out, boys and girls, for the entire hour of our show tomorrow. So 12:30 to 1:30 on DLLS Mavs. Mark Cuban is going to be joining us live in studio, taking your questions, our questions.
About time, Mark.
Is on the table, folks. We have opened it up in the Discord too for all the diehards. If you're a diehard, hop in the Discord. Let us know. The last segment of the interview is just going to be questions that y'all want us to ask. But yeah, he's down to talk about anything and everything, and looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
So tell your friends, tell your family, tell all of your favorite Mavericks friends, family and friends as well. Yes, Mark Cuban for the entire hour of our show tomorrow, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. right here on DLLS Mavs on DLLS Sports. So mark your calendar for that. We will have a lot, obviously, to discuss with the minority governor of the team, and we will be taking.
Will we?
Yeah,
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Well, I'm sure you better think of something before 12:30 tomorrow.
Okay. What is Cuba actually like?
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's really cool that he agreed to come in. So first off, shout out to Cubes, shout out to Jason Gallagher and Isaac. This tomorrow is our 1-year anniversary. DLLS Sports turns 1, and our job and our mission is to make it more fun to be a sports fan. Obviously, a lot of things have happened in the last 1 year around here that have not been fun, specifically if you're a Mavs fan. But if anything, hopefully hanging out with us, every day and every pregame and every postgame, hopefully that makes it a little more enjoyable. And then also too, we want to be, obviously we're covering the team and trying to be professionals and all that stuff, but like ultimately we do work for you, the diehard. We work for you, the viewer. And so, if there's something that you want to know from Mark, we're going to ask. And, there are a lot of things that we believe that you deserve to hear really good at. I butchered that so badly. There's a lot of answers that we believe you deserve to hear. And so, a lot of questions that he deserves to be asked. And so I'm not like saying I'm going to throw down the gauntlet on your ass, buddy. But like, we're going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to talk about everything that's happened over the last year. And so, really appreciative again to Mark to agree to come in, and it's gonna be a really fun conversation.
Yeah, when I reached out, I was not asking for an hour or even in studio, and he wanted to do it. So very, very, appreciative. Yeah, I think that's the right word. Very appreciative that he wants to jump in, come on, kind of see our setup, hang out for an hour. I know he loves this stuff, but still, it's awesome. I think I'm excited, and to bring in the second year of DLLS with, Mark Cuban in studio. We've had a bunch of awesome guests come in, remotely, in studio, in person. We've recorded stuff with people that we've put out. We've gone to Vegas. We've been in different cities. That's all been very, very cool. And, this is just a continuation into the second year of DLLS that, is going to be more of the same. And sometimes it's just going to be us. Sometimes it's just going to be the people on the shows and the people you love. And, but this is not a, this is a company that has very high ambitions in terms of, who we're trying to talk to. It's a place based in a lot of ways off the journalistic, ethos that, I've come from, that Marc Stein comes from, that Bobby and Kevin are very familiar with, are very, have worked within those frameworks. I think you can say the same for every show on this network. So I think that's cool. I think that's important. I think it is a testament to what DLLS has been.
We have prided ourselves on bringing you the best Mavericks coverage that we possibly can here on the show and through all of our shows here at DLLS Sports, whether it's the Cowboys, Stars, Mavericks, Rangers, and obviously the Dallas Wings as well. And when I was asked to join this company and I found out the roster of talent that was going to be part of this endeavor, it was the easiest yes I could have ever said in my entire career. Because I know what these gentlemen bring. I know what the people who work here bring in terms of their quality and their commitment to the work that they do in covering these teams. And I believe we have had a massively successful first year here. But most importantly, we couldn't do this without you, because without all of you supporting what we do, how we do it, none of this is possible. And to make it already 1 year, nearing 30,000 subscribers, we're less than 300 subscribers away from reaching the 30K mark in year one. It's a testament to the work that we put in, but more importantly, it's a testament to the support that you all have put in for us. So personally, I say thank you, because my career has been one of didn't think it would be where it is now, honestly, given the way that I started and how I started getting into this business. But to be here with this group, I couldn't ask for a better team to be working with. And all I can tell you is that we are just getting started. Tim mentioned it just a second ago, going to Las Vegas for NBA Summer League. We will obviously detail throughout the course of the show too some of the things that we've experienced throughout the first year, including that one trade that kept us up till the wee hours of a Sunday morning 6 months ago. But most importantly, what's to come as well. We're going to be going back to Las Vegas in October when the Mavericks take on the Lakers in Las Vegas during NBA preseason as well. So there's a lot more to come with us, and I'm excited. I can't be more excited about what we got, and it's been an incredible year one.
Yeah, far. People really want community, man. Like people want to be a part of something, and it's ironic saying this because this is on the internet, and like wherever you are probably listening to this or watching this alone. Maybe you're watching it with someone else, but we're just people that live inside your phones. We're not real people. But we're all growing increasingly more and more isolated. As we develop more and more interests, it's like this dichotomous kind of thing. Like I am so invested in the things that I care about and my hobbies and my interests. But I also spend so much time either by myself or like with one other person or with two other people. Like our sense of community is not really a thing anymore. But it's beautiful that on this channel, people that live in Dallas, but might not know each other can come hang out every day. People that we've had people join from apparently all 7 continents on the same post-game show before. I'm calling BS on the guy that said he's from Antarctica, but it's possible. Maybe you're there. If you're there, send proof. Tweet us at DLLS_Mavs. But like we can just gather here and talk about this silly little team every day, and we can get real mad on the internet, or real fired up, or real happy, real overjoyed on the internet, real annoyed, real interested, real fascinated. All
your boys got a little fired up on this show a time or two.
Yeah, but we also had we also had a great time.
Yeah, we've had a ball
during watch-alongs. I'm calling guys cuss words like on camera. Like it's just really fun, Like that's the whole point. We're just. Sarah, hello from Montenegro. Sarah is in dang Europe right now. I'm very jealous. Hopefully the weather over there is wonderful.
I'll see some of the pictures. She's having a ball over there.
Yeah, you're probably taking in some basketball. It's going to be incredible. Gearing up for Eurobasket. But there's people from everywhere hanging out with us all the time. And I just think it's a beautiful thing. And so I'm really happy to celebrate 1 year tomorrow. And again,
I already started celebrating. So
of course,
it's never too early.
It ain't sparkling water in that cup.
That's how excited and important it is to me. So sorry about y'all.
I want to get to Saeed's super chat before the break, and then Classic Sting Lover dropped in a couple, and we'll get to. I want to get to yours a little later as well. But Saeed was super chatting about talking with Cuban tomorrow. So $10 from Saeed Laloy. Thank you, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Please ask him the following. You sold the team because you didn't want your children to have the burden of public opinion, but didn't he basically indirectly put his whole family in a bad light? I don't think his family's in a bad light. I definitely think he's taken a lot of heat. I'm sure some of that is strategic, like he wants to shield his family from that sort of thing. But there is probably some degree of Streisand effect, right? Like, no, this is not a big deal. Look away. This isn't even a big deal. All you're doing is attracting more attention. But I think more than anything, the fact that last season went the way it did is what's bringing more attention and more criticism and all that stuff. It was decisions that were made that he wasn't a part of and that his family certainly wasn't a part of. Had the Mavs gone to the finals last year again, and even if they did make the trade, but it worked out great, then I don't think it's in that same position. So it's quite a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, but, I don't remember the name of his kids off the top of my head. Anybody who's not a public figure is not a reflection of
It would be weird
actual
if
public
you
figures.
did know his kids' names.
Well, I met his kid. I met one of the kids a couple times.
And you don't remember? What a jerk.
I feel bad about
You're
that.
such a jerk.
I don't know what's worse.
They're not public figures. I get what you're saying. But I am also going to push back on that hyperbole. I understand the point you're trying to make, but no, and we're very glad Marc's coming on the show tomorrow. This is about Marc, and very excited to talk to Marc about a lot of things, a lot of decisions, a lot of aspects of where, just what went into everything that happened over the past year, for the past 6 months.
And
before we go to break,
Daniel off the top rope with that one too.
I'm about to say,
Dude. Hell yeah, Daniel.
$50 super chat from Daniel Escobar. Ask Cubes, are bonita fish big?
What? I'm looking up.
We're gonna
that.
I don't know what that means. We're gonna.
Is that from Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I knew it was a
Completely
reference to one.
Is he a Step Brothers fan? Was he in that movie?
Don't get me
Mark
lying.
Cuban letterboxed.
Oh wow.
We'll find out.
Dude, thank you, Daniel.
Shout out to Daniel for
He was in Hustle.
$50 super.
So,
He was in Hustle.
good
Yes, he
movie.
was.
Didn't make the basketball club cut.
Next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
Does not appear he was in Step Brothers.
Let's take our first break, though, here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. When we come back, are we underestimating the environment that Cooper Flagg is about to step into with the Dallas Mavericks? What this future NBA Hall of Famer had to say about it. Coming up next.
Hey there, whether you need snapbacks, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Brandon Bills has you covered with performance and style. That's pretty much every type of hat there is. I guess they're not doing cowboy hats. They're not doing fedoras.
Maybe that's for 2026.
Yeah, it could be coming. We don't know. Like, you can have every type of bill possible branded, because that's what Branded Bills does. If you're looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills also has you covered with custom headwear. So if if you've got maybe you're just starting a podcast company, if you're, fantasy football is coming up. I've got one of my drafts on Friday, and maybe you need some merch for your league. You just start an order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. So head to brandedbills.com. Use code BBDLLS for 15% off your first order.
I got a conversation I want to have with you, and it means being a part of our community and doing so with the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Looking for an afternoon of great conversation, great company, and a chance to make a difference. Join us for Big Brothers, Big Sisters 4th Annual Cigars and Conversations happening on Saturday, September 13th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Casa de Monte Cristo in Dallas. You can enjoy a premium cigar, a complimentary drink, and connect with people who care. BBBS board members, staff, and community leaders all coming together to inspire change. Learn how you can become a mentor and positively impact a young person's life. Ask questions, share stories, and discover how you can get involved. Whether you're a seasoned supporter or just curious, this is your chance to network, engage, and be the change. That's Cigars and Conversations, Saturday, September 13th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Casa de Monte Cristo. Be the change, be a mentor. Visit the link in the description for more on the event at Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Shout out to Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
The name Casa de Monte Cristo sounds really nice, and so I did some Googling, and that place, it just is really nice. That looks like the kind of place I want to hang out. That's a whole wall of cigars. Look at that.
A whole wall of guards.
Look at that.
That
man.
looks nicer than the Monte Cristo I'm familiar with.
So
make sure you come hang out on Saturday.
Honestly, it looks like what's the other
13th.
one? Cask of Artemio. What's that other? It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Are we underestimating
what I'm
the
talking
environment
about.
that Cooper Flagg is about to step in here in Dallas as he embarks on his rookie year? We are just a little over a month away from Media Day on September 29th. The Mavericks open up training camp on September 30th in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, September 30th through October 4th. Basketball is right around the corner, boys and girls, and we're getting excited here, especially here at DLLS Mavs. LeBron. Oh my gosh, my wife is in the chat. Can you put that?
Let's go.
She's supposed to be working like I am right now. She says, oh, y'all have desks now? Okay. She has you've been in this studio before. Like, what are you talking about? You literally sat feet away from me in this studio with my kid in here too. Like, what are you talking about? Shout out to my wife.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah,
I really
thank you.
appreciate it.
She's trolling me because I tell her, like, you don't hardly ever watch my show anyway.
Oh, wow.
And now I guess she's here to prove a point. That's when she isn't dropping her phone in the water. But anyway,
Oh, my God.
let's get to what this future NBA Hall of Famer, yep, I said it on the show, babe. Let's get to what this future Hall of Famer had to say about Cooper Flagg and his situation this upcoming season. Here is what LeBron Bobby had to say about Cooper Flagg on Mind the Game.
Future Mav.
He has the benefit, unlike myself, he gets to join a team that's established with Hall of Fame guys, Klay Thompson, Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, right off the bat, Hall of Fame coach Jason Kidd. They can give him the whole blueprint while he continues to learn what his blueprint will be. And I think that's going to be an incredible thing for him to have that type of presence, that type of leadership, that type of, just basketball IQ and knowledge around him every single day from those pieces. So I think he's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and an environment, right? That's not we're the worst team in the league.
Right.
We're going to try
You're
to
learning
develop
bad habits.
Right.
That happens too, man. You get guys that you never know what their trajectory should have been based on if they were in a toxic environment or a losing environment or an environment that had great habits. Like we mentioned Kawhi, like we don't know if Kawhi would have ended up somewhere without those type of built-in habits in San Antonio. Would he have been, he would have probably been great, obviously, but he had time to hone those skills, be around Timmy, be around Manu, be around Tony, be around Pop, to where he was able to get better on his own time and not the league's time.
So LeBron praising the situation that Cooper Flagg is going to be walking into here in Dallas, playing alongside Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, all NBA champions. His coach, also an NBA champion, and Jason Kidd, and as LeBron James says, a potential Hall of Fame coach as well. Take that for what it is. But at the same time,
I think he means like J. Kidd is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, I know. Let's just start here. Tim, I'll start with you on this. Are we underestimating the kind of environment that Cooper Flagg is going to be stepping into for his rookie season?
I've never underestimated anything in my entire life.
Okay.
I treat everything with the proper respect that it deserves. I really don't think so. He's stepping into a team that is trying to win, but has a over-under set by a lot of people at 39.5, 40.5. This is not a player stepping into Oklahoma City. Also, what if he was? What if for some reason Cooper Flagg was joining the Oklahoma City Thunder? I don't see how him as a first-round pick is fundamentally different. I think the toughest thing for number one picks is that they are viewed kind of in a savior way, and I think that can have a negative impact. But usually, number one picks just succeed because they're that good. They're that good in any situation you put them in. If we're talking about number 10 picks, there are scenarios where there are lottery picks that may make or break their rookie contract, the first 4 years in the league, maybe their entire career based off what it is around them. But when you're talking about number one picks, you are talking about players that are so talented that it's going to rise. They're going to rise and succeed in any situation that you put them in. And so it is going to be very interesting to see as Dallas challenges Cooper to not just be on a team that has win now expectations and eventually finals expectations, championship expectations. But when Kyrie is out there, it's really hard for this team until Kyrie gets back to view themselves as a roster that is going to have championship contentions. They can say, oh, when Kyrie gets back, we're going to try to be that again. They're not going to be a championship team until Kyrie's back. They're not going to look around and see themselves and have, utmost. It's going to be very hard to have belief that, this team, until you see it whole again, is going to be a championship team. It's going to be interesting that they're going to challenge him heavily, importantly, to be someone who lifts them and helps carry them early on in the year. That's not that different than any number one team. The expectations are a bit higher, but I think his role is going to be not too dissimilar than any number one pick. I think the expectations certainly are a little bit different, and it's nice that he doesn't have this savior complex that he has to live up to. But at the same time, he's still going to have high expectations. He's still going to have a lot of attention. He's still going to have a prominent role. It's just happening with, a lot of good pieces in place around him. I just don't think that fundamentally of a player of his level of talent and, the type of prospect he is fundamentally changing anything more than it would, if he was going to the Atlanta Hawks or the Orlando Magic, or let me think of an actual bad team, the Brooklyn Nets.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
We're embracing debate today.
Oh,
Are
wow.
you just embracing debate, or do you actually disagree?
No, I actually do
Okay,
disagree. I
let's
actually
talk.
do disagree. I think, and it's easy to look back through NBA history at flawed number one picks or high picks and just say, well, that one specific guy just didn't work out because of this. Like Zion, for example. Zion's not really working out because he can't stay healthy. But can he not stay healthy because he is not always in the best shape? Like, is this a Nico Harrison-Lucas situation? Is the franchise not holding him accountable? Are they enabling it? Or is he just an injury-prone guy? He's very unlucky. Look back to the process, okay? Every single player the Sixers took, with the exception of Joel Embiid, has pretty much flamed out of the league. Jahlil Okafor, not in the league. Markelle Fultz, barely in the league. Was he even on a team last year? I genuinely don't remember.
He was, but he's not currently signed.
Yeah. Ben Simmons, is he on a team?
No,
not yet.
No, like those dudes are just they're just done for, you know. And I really put a high value on institutionalizing success, like turning your team into a program, building a very strong culture. All of these like intangible kind of abstract ideas, I think, really do bear fruit when it comes to not only building up young players, but also resurrecting kind of maybe wayward journeymen's careers. Like think of the Carlisle Dirk era Mavs with Cuban and Donnie. Like there was always a bunch of chicanery going on behind the scenes, and there was a bunch of guys that came in here. Lamar Odom and Rondo didn't work out, but like think of all of the veteran success stories that the Mavs had over a 10 to 15 to 20 year period, because it's basically just those guys. You know, a couple of faces changed every now and then, but like they had a very strong culture and program, and maybe they didn't build up young players, but they certainly built up a lot of veterans, and ultimately they won a title. They won 50 games a million years in a row, and not a lot of other franchises have been able to do that. That said, I think this situation differs greatly from Kawhi, which is the example LeBron mentioned, because by then the Spurs had already had such sustained success with that group over 15 years, almost, by the time they won their next one with him. And Pop was the mainstay, whereas, you know, Coop enters the Mavs situation right now amid like a sea of change. You know, they are just floating in the doldrums, just waiting for a breeze to come by to blow them somewhere. You know, new ownership, relatively new GM, relatively new coach, new star in AD, and their other star, Kyrie's only been here for like a year and a half, and he's not playing, or 2 years, whatever it is, and he's not playing for a long time. So there's a lot of changing and a lot of newness around here. But at the end of the day, the emphasis is still on winning. Whereas, and I believe Cooper's a much better prospect than LaMelo Ball was, for example, but like the Hornets are maybe going to win 20 games this year. Like, are the Hornets ever going to be good with LaMelo? Are they ever going to be good with any of those players? Repeatedly having a top 3 to top 5 pick, and they just can't figure it out because their culture, from an outsider's perspective, is either non-existent or actively harming their players' careers. Because they draft a bunch of dudes that, for whatever reason, don't seem to work out.
Sure.
And so I do think that there is a value. Granted, again, Cooper's on, we believe, could be on this elite level of prospect that doesn't come along very often. But many, many, many number 1 picks and top 5 picks in the NBA, you know, go to a bad situation, and for whatever reason they don't stick, and then later in their career they go to a good situation, and for whatever reason it works out. And I do believe that there is an advantage there.
I think a lot of bad situations is because of bad organizations around them. And to play
but that's exactly what LeBron's talking about.
To play devil's advocate, Dallas was a team that went through an injury crisis and then had a controversy over the training staff and arguments that were happening inside the training room.
Very bad situation.
Right. So so to me, what's far more important is not that you're in a winning situation with a bunch of talent around you. What's more important to me is that the organization is set up to have culture, like have a strong culture, have strong values, have, you know, the support staff in place. And as far as we know, Dallas has figured all that out. And
that was the case in Dallas for a really long time, too.
It was.
Like, throughout that whole Carlisle era, Cuban era, Dirk era, like all of those guys were the same, too.
Right.
In the last 3 years,
and now that
every
is
single
changing.
one of them is gone.
Yeah, I am not actually, you know, this is not me weighing in that Dallas is a good or bad situation. I saw the training stuff last year was bad. I would like to think that it has been resolved and fixed and is in a stronger position now. Certainly, you know, there are, you know, we'll see. We have considered the possibility that, you know, are there too many guys for too few minutes to go around? We're not speaking anything into existence there. What I will say is that it is far more important to me that a number one pick, that a lottery pick, that any draft pick goes into an organization that has a plan for that player to succeed. And if Cooper Flagg was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, and if the Charlotte Hornets, if that's the scenario that was starting, what I would hope from the Charlotte Hornets is that they come to Cooper Flagg and they say, hey, look, for the past 5 years, we haven't been a great team. Here's why. Here's how you're going to help change that. Here's how you're going to help start to set a culture that matters. Well, maybe that's impossible, and maybe they don't do that.
An 18-year-old is not changing what they've done.
Sure. But that's what you would like an organization to try to do.
Sure, I would not trust them to do that. That's the thing.
Okay, well, you don't trust the Charlotte Hornets, so they're a bad organization in that way. But that's the point I'm trying to make. Does Dallas have a step-by-step plan? Do they have bullet points for how Cooper Flagg is going to come in, how he's going to help them, how they're going to optimize him? If they just throw him and make him the point guard on day one, I don't know. Like, maybe long-term it is best for him. Yeah. But I don't like that idea for him either. So that, to me, is what's important about this organization, and that's how they can set him up to succeed. And I just don't think we know yet. We don't have resolution about the training staff. We don't have resolution about what is Cooper Flagg's role going to be. I am pretty damn sure that Cooper Flagg is that type of talent that is all going to work out. And I do think that Dallas has shown enough that they generally should be considered one of the top half organizations of the league. But we are very soon we're very close to multiple levels of internal drama. That, to me, is the thing that matters. Not whether you're going to win, not whether your teammates are going to be good or are good or whatever. It's whether you have a plan, whether an organization has a plan for you, the player, the prospect.
Let's take our next break here on the DLLS Mavs podcast. When we come back, with PJ Washington reportedly likely to sign his contract extension with Dallas, what does that mean for them this season and their roster moving forward? We'll dive into all that coming up next.
First, this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks, folks. Preseason football is, I think, done, right? Like, the real thing is getting started right now. College football is starting right now, but you still have time to make season-long, more or less picks for the 2025 season on Prize Picks. This is not financial advice, all right? But everything you see about Jackson Smith-Njigba, more, all right? Everything you see about Jackson
Sam Darnold
Smith-Njigba.
is his quarterback?
Sam is amazing.
Doesn't matter, dude.
Okay.
Does not matter.
All right.
JSN is a baller. Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs, ballers. Aaron Rodgers, I think his more or less for interceptions is 8.5. Triple that.
Wow.
You can't do that on
I'm about to say, like, what?
You can't triple it, but what you can do is pick more or less on between 2 and 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks puts all their members first, so all the withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code DLLS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. And folks, tonight is the night right here at the DLLS Sports Studio from 7 to 9 p.m. We're going to be watching Mavs film. We're going to be doing a little Q&A with the DLLS Mavs crew. We're all going to be here. Stein's going to be here. Tanner, are you going to be here? Tanner's going to be here. He gave me a thumbs up. GM Ben's going to be here. A couple other show hosts will be here. And hope you can join us. This event was only open to diehards for a while, but there's a few spots left. We decided, hey, let's open it up to the public. It's the day of. Let's see what happens. So if you're not a diehard, but still want to come, go to alldlls.com/events. Again, alldlls.com/events. The event is tonight, Monday, August 25th from 7 to 9. When you sign up, you'll be given an email with the address and all that stuff, instructions, things like that. So hope to see you all here tonight.
Coming out later on in our show, we react to some of the NBA summer forecasts that the worldwide leaders put out in terms of some of the questions going into this upcoming
Did you have any
season.
thoughts? I took up a lot of that segment.
No, it's fine. You embraced debate with Bobby, and it was good.
Yeah.
No need to add anything else.
We've got plenty of time in the show. I just want to make sure you feel if you want to chime in
that.
on that last segment. We've got plenty of time. I know I've seen the rundown.
Trust me, we have plenty of time to discuss Cooper Flagg over the next several days and weeks for sure.
And several years.
But I appreciate the lob pass. I appreciate that. Let's get into this, though, because our guy, Marc Stein, lobbed us some content last night in the form of his latest update in his Sunday notebook that included this when it comes to one PJ Washington, noting that Washington, of course, is eligible for a 4-year, nearly $90 million extension on Friday, is, quote, likely to sign that extension. PJ Washington, of course, who came over from the Charlotte Hornets and helped the Mavericks reach the NBA Finals, now has a chance to put himself into guaranteed money where he could be potentially looking at over $22.5 million per season, a player who has become a fan favorite here in Dallas and now looking to potentially secure his long-term future here as well. Just celebrated a birthday over the weekend, did PJ Washington, turning 27 on Saturday. Stein going on to say, quote, Washington, who only just turned 27 on Saturday and has no shortage of admirers in front offices around the league. Dallas looks like he's going to be his home to stay. So what does that mean for Washington this upcoming season and for the roster moving forward, knowing that most likely he's going to be here for the future, Bob?
He's a very good player. He is a very, very, very good player. And we said last week, or I think it was last week whenever we talked about it, or maybe it was the week before. I don't remember. We do a lot of shows, and each one is better than the last one.
Sometimes I try to repeat segments on different shows.
Yeah, I know. You should never skip an episode.
That's
Sometimes
right.
It feels like we do. But if PJ agrees to that deal, 4 for $90-ish, I think that is a huge win for the Mavs because I think that he could easily earn more than that on the open market or by way of sign and trade or whatever. I think he's an extremely good player. Proven quality starting caliber player on a team that went to the finals. And I think, based on what some of the other players at his position make, he would be kind of underpaid, at that average annual value of about $22.5 million. So it would be a huge win for the Mavs. And it would give him security because the more I think about it, I think he's coming off the bench, dude, like for this season. And obviously, whenever everyone is healthy and everything, if Coop goes down or AD goes down, maybe PJ starts regardless. But
can I make a prediction?
Sure.
Jason Kidd before the season is going to call PJ Washington. He's our 6th starter.
He's a 6th starter.
That sounds, yep.
Yeah, and he will invoke the name Tim Hardaway Jr.
Tanner, bookmark this and play it back when it happens.
I like why you said that.
And, I think I've said this many times, going into a contract year, you don't want to be coming off the bench, all right? Even if you're on a good team, you don't want to be coming off the bench. So if he's able to lock up that long-term money, I don't think him being a 6-man would be that big of a deal. So I think it works out for everybody. And, I think it's remarkable. I think he's a really, really good player that deserves to start. But on this team, I think it makes more sense for him to come off the bench. So the fact that he's willing to sign what might be a slightly below market value contract is like, he really must be happy here and bought into the culture and everything they're trying to do.
I agree. I think you set up the dilemma nicely where it's like, maybe he doesn't, maybe I'm sure his ideal situation is not coming off the bench. He has been a starter most of his career and started on a team that went to the finals. But if he goes into next season without signing an extension and is coming off the bench, I don't think the entire league is going to lose value in him, but it is a safer situation to sign an extension, have financial security, $90 million, thereabouts. That's a lot of money. A lot of money to lock up.
And in Texas, that money goes further.
Does go further
Absolutely,
here in Texas.
absolutely. Sure. So to do all that and then that softens, that makes it easier to accept a bench role. Sorry, to accept a 6th starter role where clearly he is going to get a bunch of minutes. He is going to get, there are scenarios where he ends up getting more minutes than D'Angelo Russell. Almost certainly he will get more minutes than Klay Thompson, who is probably going to be the starter ahead of him just because it's, a better balance. It makes more sense. And when you consider all of that, it does make sense for him to stay here. And then, he has the ability to reassess. Dallas has the ability to reassess. And in a year from now, if everything needs to be switched up, changed up, still only going to be 28, going into the season after next. And the 2026-27 season. It makes sense. It makes sense on a lot of levels. And the more I think about it, the more it just is logical for all sides.
PJ Washington last year had a career year in a number of areas, shot a career high nearly 38.1% from three.
It did not feel like that for long stretches of the year.
Yeah. It was not a very...
He got really hot for a little while.
What I will say is he was not an efficient player last year at all. Yes, he shot better from three, 54 true shooting. Not amazing.
The only year that he had better from the
I take it back. 56. He was 54 last year.
Yeah, the only year he had better from the 3-point line
good.
was in his sophomore year. He shot 38.6% from three, shot 38.1% from three last year. Averaged a career high 7.8 rebounds per contest last year as well, and averaged nearly 15 points per game and what was 57 games played. Of course, dealt with some injury last year. But Bob, you started to allude to it a little bit. I think there's a tremendous opportunity for him to come off the bench to really bring the energy on both ends of the floor. He has proven to be a starter on an NBA Finals team and can play in a number of different roles. How his game expands, even if he is coming off the bench, will be interesting to watch him mature in that part of his game. Because I remember when he was traded here, one of the things Nico Harrison did was pat P.J. Washington on the shoulder and say, hey, this is going to be a guy they're going to look to on the defensive end to really help us out here. And while at times that has been good, while other times it may has not been good, what he has done has become a Swiss Army knife type of player in a lot of different ways. Some of the ball handling could improve for him, especially as someone who's leading the ball in transition, those types of things. But all around, P.J. Washington is a really good player, and I think will embrace this challenge and opportunity to provide and be what. And I've said it before, and I'll go on record saying it again. If he is truly going to be the sixth man of this team this year, he should be at near the top, close to the top of favorites for NBA's sixth man of the year. Like, that is how good P.J. Washington, I think, can be in that particular role right at that way. So I'm interested to see how he flourishes in that, if he is, in fact, the sixth man, because I think he has a chance to have a really good year and provide some real impact off the bench in a number of different areas.
Yeah, I mean, you got to produce a lot to get nominated for that award. Normally, it's like guys that score so much. I'm not sure.
I mean, if he's giving you 14, 6 or 7 rebounds, a couple of assists.
Oh, sure, if he is. But,
yeah.
I don't know how many minutes he's going to get. You know, he could still get, just over the course of the season, because guys will miss time and stuff, he could still average close to 30 a game. But what'll be interesting to see is if he's out there, who is he playing with? Like, if he is going to be, you know, because J-Kid doesn't always go to, like, just 5 guys from the bench out there. But let's say your second wave of 5 until Kyrie comes back is, like, Brandon Williams, PJ, Najee, Max Christie, and Gafford. Like, there's some opportunities for PJ to be on the ball, but I think normally it's going to be Brandon Williams or Najee. And so is PJ just going to be kind of a spot-up shooter off the bench? I think in Charlotte, he had a really good year kind of quarterbacking their second unit, and they played through him, and he was doing some face-up stuff and some low-post stuff, and he was really productive and had a nice little stretch there. I don't know how much they're going to play through him, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think I really
run every first play of the game for PJ.
I'm happy that's not going to be the case anymore. You can't torture me anymore, J-Kid. But I think there's value in his ability to just do whatever needs to be done. He's like a fill in the crack guy. PJ reminds me of whenever Marion was in Dallas. You know, he would just kind of do some stuff. Like, you'd look up, you never really feel like he's like producing that much or generating that many things. And then you look up at the end of the night and he's got 12 and 7. And you're like, and 2 blocks and a steal. And you're like, hell yeah. Like, just nice.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Stat stuffer.
Yeah, but like, it's like all the quiet stuff and all the dirty work and, you know, putbacks and, you know, get some rebound, get it out on the floor and run. Like, I think he just does a lot of that stuff. And you can never have ever have too many guys that do that sort of thing.
It's always super, super valuable to have a player who averages more than 1 steal, more than 1 block per game.
Mm-hmm.
He did that last season, 1.1 steal, 1.1 block. As to the 3-point shooting, I think I got to the bottom of why you felt that way, which I also felt that, you know, despite having a career year percentage-wise, it didn't quite feel like that. Past 3 seasons, on a per 36-minute basis, P.J. Washington took 6.1, 6.5, and 6.7 threes per game. So those first 2 years were in Charlotte. The second one was an aggregate of Charlotte and Dallas. Obviously, having Luka to create threes for you, but that's half of a season. You know, that's not even half of a season that this is being measured by. So he was launching shots with a lot more volume, a lot more frequency in Charlotte. And then when he got to Dallas last season, 2 seasons ago, he was shooting more often. Last season, down 2 attempts for 36. He took 4.7 threes for 36 minutes. That's the lowest. It's lowest since its rookie year. So I do think he passed up a lot more shots last season that he had not over the past few years of his career. Probably some of it was this, Jason Kidd directive of you're a ball handler, you're going to create offense for us. That's why his turnover spiked as well. Certainly that played an effect, and certainly he, a lot of those spot ups he turned into drives, and he was making it, a dedicated, push to turn those into drives. But Dallas is not going to have a lot of spacing. They're not going to have a lot of shooters. If he can raise his volumes back up to where it was, where he's taken 6 or 7, like every game, if he's getting starters minutes, I think that's going to be more valuable to the team than trying to be the third or fourth, sort of pseudo creator who isn't perfect at it and is doing it just because the team doesn't have any clear-cut ones.
PJ Washington, we'll see what happens with him in his contract extension. Our very own Marc Stein reporting that it is likely that he will sign that contract extension when he becomes eligible for it on Friday. Our guy Marc Stein will be back live in studio with us tomorrow, as Mark Cuban will be joining us live here on DLLS Mavs beginning at 12:30 right here on DLLS Sports. Let's take our final break here on our show today. When we come back, let's take a look at the NBA summer forecast, including this one when it comes to who could be the biggest riser in the team in the West this upcoming season. All that and more coming up next. But first, we want you to become part of our DLLS Sports family. The easiest way that you can do that right now is to subscribe to DLLS Sports. We are less than 300 subscribers away from becoming a 30,000K DLLS Sports channel. So make sure you subscribe while you're here. And we got our best offer happening right now. Join the football club right now. Our $36 intro offer to become a diehard member here at DLLS Sports. We've got our tremendous new line of Cowboys shirts as well for DLLS Cowboys that you can take a look at right now, including one that I'm going to get that reminds me a little bit of the Bullet Club Pro Wrestling. So I can't wait for that. But we've got
GM Ben said you would love that shirt.
Yeah, he was exactly right.
He's like, you said it's called the Bullet Club?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said that, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
That's okay. It's okay. Longtime pro wrestling faction. They got an 88 Club version of that right now. That's available when you sign up. $36 football club intro offer to become a diehard member. Click the QR code that you see on your screen. Or if you're listening on our podcast, go to alldlls.com. Click that diehard tab and become a diehard member right now with our best offer of the season, our $36 intro when it comes to joining our football club here. And when you do, you get access to our member-only Discord, 20% off our events as well, access to all of our premium content that we've got up right now, including our guy Tim Cato. He's got the DLLS Mavs survey up right now on alldlls.com.
Yeah, still taking replies for that. So go to alldlls.com.
When do the polls close?
Probably tonight.
Okay.
But I could keep it open.
If you're in line.
Stay in line.
Definitely stay in line there. So you got access to all of that. And when you look
Make your voice heard. How many responses do you have so far? Can you share?
Millions.
Oh, wow.
Billions.
Wow. Cannot wait for that. And also check out store.allcitynetwork.com for all of our tremendous merchandise. Again, the easiest way you can support us right now, hit subscribe on DLLS Sports. We are less than 300 subscribers away from reaching the magical 30K mark as we celebrate our 1-year anniversary beginning tomorrow. And
281 subs away.
all right. So I need 281 people right now to like this video and subscribe.
86 people are watching this right now.
Well, get another 100 and some odd in here. 30
All right.
some odd
People
in
that
here.
are going to listen.
No, so
That's
here's
right. What
what's
about the
gonna
people
happen.
listening? Yeah.
I need you to sub, and then I need you to go out and find 3 people and tell them to sub.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tell those 3 people to go out and find 3 people and tell them to sub. And every time someone subs, you get $1.
Wow.
Is that
Just trust me.
real?
Someone will pay you $1. You'll get your money. Just keep encouraging people
I've
to
been
sub.
meaning to ask you, what do you think of the pyramids?
Love them. Great
What
shape.
about schemes?
I love hatching plots.
Wow.
Okay.
Yes, Charlie Saturday. Mark Cuban will be live in studio tomorrow for the entire hour of our show. We have a special start time at 12:30 p.m. So make sure that you are in here at 12:30. Dallas
Looks
Mavericks
so
Minority
orange.
Governor Mark Cuban will be live in studio for the entire hour from 12:30 to 1 p.m. 1:30 p.m. Excuse me, right here on DLLS.
Is that a
Mavs.
real picture?
That is.
That
a
was
real
after
picture.
they beat Phoenix in the 2022 playoffs. So
Oh,
yes.
everything else in the picture you kind of like desaturated.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I was
yes.
wondering, like, why does he look so different?
Yeah, there's an effect on there.
Okay.
So you don't want to miss that tomorrow. Again, Mark Human, 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. right here on DLLS Mavs. Let's finish up our show today by taking a look at the NBA summer forecast. This coming from from ESPN, the worldwide leader, of course. Some interesting questions as we get around. This is one of my favorite times of the year when it comes to NBA content because you start getting like surveys, people asking questions about different things this upcoming year. Later on in the summer, we will have the NBA.com GM survey where they survey all the GMs around the league and provide their various responses to that. So that'll be coming.
Cooper Flagg, 100%.
Rookie of the year. That's right. Exactly.
Unanimous.
Rookie of the year for sure. But there's a couple here that I want to take a look at because when we start looking at some of the teams, particularly in the West, when we know how difficult the West is going to be this year, which teams could rise, which teams could fall. And the first question that they have here in terms of team turnaround, now the way that they did this was that they assign point value to each vote. So a first place vote receives 5 points, a second place vote receives 3 points, a third place vote receives 1 point. So the first question that they have as far as teams turnaround, which teams will make a major leap this upcoming season?
The Rockets get votes for that.
They did.
They finished second.
Yeah, they finished second in the West. You're right. Tie for first, and Tim, you've said this team a couple of times when it comes to who you like going into this upcoming year. Tie for first were the San Antonio Spurs and the Atlanta Hawks. Each of them got 55 points when it comes to teams that will take a major leap this upcoming year. Philadelphia, the Sixers came in second. They had 49 points. The Orlando Magic third with 48. The Timberwolves with 6, and as Bobby mentioned, the Rockets with 5 points. But the Spurs and Hawks, according to their NBA insiders, feel like they could have a major leap. You've been pretty high on the Hawks this upcoming year. But Tim Cato, I'm talking about.
I've been high on the Hawks?
Yes, you have.
I thought we've both been high on the Hawks. I thought we've all been
pretty high on the Hawks.
Yeah.
I'm huffing Hawks.
Yeah, I'm soaring up where they soar.
Please make that a drop.
I was going to say, that's the sound.
That's the drop for sure.
Yeah.
But they've added Kristaps Porzingis, Trae Young. Still questions about whether or not he's going to get a contract extension.
He was just like leading you to
yes,
this.
I wanted
like,
you to
Tim, you like the Hawks.
Yeah.
Can you explain why people
I
might
just
feel
think
this
they're
way?
majestic creatures. I like the way they fly.
All right.
I think the Hawks are going to be better. Yeah. I mean, they
Top 4 in the East?
Top 4 in the East has never been more attainable. Possibly ever.
I mean, they were a
two
number 1
teams-
seed at one point, way back when.
Well, it's not like literally ever, but the idea that the two best teams in the Eastern Conference, arguably, 2 of the 3 best teams, are not competing seriously this year because their best players both have solidarity pact with their Achilles, and like that is just a situation where there is less contention and more room to grow. But I think if Jalen Johnson is healthy, I think if Zachary Ricochet takes he doesn't even take a huge leap. He needs to be the player who's the second half of the year for a full season. I think he's good.
They have the best nickname in the NBA right now. On their team.
Zach Attack?
No.
Ice Tray?
KP?
The Great Barrier Thief.
Oh, okay.
Dyson Daniels. Come on now.
What, JJ?
It's the best nickname in the sport right now, the Great Barrier Thief.
I mean, it's a fun roster. Everybody, I think everybody is assuming them to take a leap. So Dallas was not on this list.
They were not on this list.
Yeah. How does that make you feel?
I'm fine with it. I mean, according to Bobby's favorite guy, Stephen A. Smith, the Mavericks are a title contender. So, taking a leap isn't necessarily.
It's interesting that ESPN's basketball staff would not be high on the Mavs, and yet Stephen A. would make a whole video pumping up the Mavs. It's almost like he does that on purpose.
Well, he also said, if Kyrie and AD are at their A games, they're that's the whole thing. That's the
health.
Kyrie is not. Like, you can say a lot of things about the Mavericks that is you can say a lot of hypotheticals about the Mavericks. You can turn the Mavericks into Justin Herbert, but Justin Herbert still has to win a playoff series, a playoff game.
Football reference? Oh wow! I didn't know you was gonna go deep into that bag, but okay.
Is that deep? He's like the fourth best.
I need a big year from Justin Herbert.
Fantasy wise, you need a big year from Justin Herbert.
I need just a jumbo year.
Are we doing a DLLS fantasy draft?
We should. The condition on joining the league is that you got to be willing to do it on a live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've been the one person who has given you a yes.
You have.
Oh,
you
wow.
have. We're gonna. I was gonna send out an announcement about that today. All right, before we get out of here, let's get some classic saying lover super chats. Appreciate you for $1.99 talking about the film session tonight. Can we talk about the pros and cons of 5 Out tonight?
Oh,
Yes.
That's actually a good idea. We should do that. I'll add that to the list. I'm going to put together my film list right after this. And then following up with $4.99. Not sure if I despise it because the Wings are running it. Classic Sting Lover is a beleaguered Wings fan. All right, it's been a rough year.
Beleaguered. I'm right there with you, my guy.
Or that I'm an old man and prefer old school basketball, parentheses, get off my lawn. I respect both the self-awareness and the self-deprecation. That is my kind of super chat. There's pros and cons to 5 Out, and we'll talk about it. And then for $1.99, running my butt off at work today to make it. Let's go.
Shout out to you,
You will be greeted by a warm community and also warm food and cold bevies.
And hopefully you got some money in your pocket
choice.
because you keep spending it all on us and the DLLS Wing Show, which we appreciate.
Well, we're about to pay back with some food.
You can't put a price on knowledge and fun.
That is true. Real quick.
It's called public education.
Wow. All right. I want to get to this real quick before we end our show because this is right up Bobby's
Private
alley.
would have been funnier.
Team turmoil. Which team will take a tumble this season? We talked about who will take a major leap, who will take a major tumble this year. The Pacers coming in number 5 with 19 points. The Philadelphia 76ers, who are also in the major leap list, they come in number 4 with 25 points. The Celtics and Suns come in with 28 points. The Los Angeles Lakers, number 2 with 32 points. And Bobby's Milwaukee Bucks, Charlie Saturday, come in at number 1 with 41 points in terms of the teams that will take a tumble this season.
An easy call. I mean, I don't know how far the Bucks could fall. They were only 5th last year. Like, I think the Hawks will pass them. The Magic will probably pass them. The Pistons will pass them. I don't know about the Heat. I don't know about any of those bottom million teams in the East that are all really bad. So I guess the Bucks could fall from like 5 to 8, that's a pretty big fall because like 5 is outside circle. 8 is like kind of like
you're in
charity.
The play-in.
Yeah, it's like charity that you get to go. So I guess that would be that qualifies as a drop off. I think
my vote would be the Oklahoma City Thunder. They had a 100-game hot streak last year. A lot of things went their way.
Got really lucky.
Yeah, they accidentally won 68 games.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that the Thunder, real quick, won't be in the repeater tax until 2030?
Yeah, it's a well-run team. They draft very, 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 very well.
I heard that this morning. I was like, wait a minute. Even with all the extensions that they've signed, they won't be in the repeater tax until 2030.
I got news for you. They won't be in the repeater tax in 2030.
Yeah, exactly.
One of those guys will be gone for 18 more picks.
There'll be a new CBA in place by then. At that point, too. By the time we get to 2030, so
probably.
There we go.
So was Golden State on the list?
They were not on this list in teams that will take a tumble or a major leap.
I wouldn't predict it either. They wouldn't be a vote of mine, but I don't know. I think about if the Lakers are on there. Obviously, I guess the Lakers are a little bit different now.
They're on that tumble list.
They're on the
Tumblr.
Yeah,
the Lakers are on Tumblr.
At some point, Golden State has to fall off. I don't think it's going to be this year either. I think they're set up well, but
that might factor into this last one because I got 30 seconds. I wanted this one in because this is for both of you guys. The next superstar to request a trade will be number 5, Trae Young, 1 vote. John Morant, number 4, 1 vote. LeBron James, Bobby, comes in at number 3 with 6 votes. Giannis Antetokounmpo with 7 votes at number 2. And number 1, Zion Williamson comes in.
Zion Williamson, was that a superstar? You said the question is superstar?
The question is the next superstar to
Zion
request
Williams
a trade.
superstar?
he's just a super.
Is he even a star?
He likes super size, but
Is Trae a superstar?
Bunch. You take it for what you want.
I think they're using the ESPN label, which is to say, do we talk about these players on our show?
All the time.
Yeah.
6 votes for LeBron James, number 3. Next superstar to request a trade, Bobby. How you feel about that?
I'm the same as I always have. If you think it's not going to happen, the joke is on you.
I'm trying to think of a candidate who's not on that list. Who, like, sneaky candidacy for Jaylen Brown?
No, not on this list.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Is there a sneaky case that he could be one? Is there a sneaky case for
He get to be the man for a year in Boston, so we'll see how that goes for him.
Sneaky
Anthony
case
Davis
for,
and Kyrie Irving? As so many haters want to believe.
Yeah.
No haters here on the DLLS Mavs podcast.
Only lovers.
That's right. We hope you loved our program today, and so much so that you come back tomorrow.
Better have
on DLLS Sports. Special start time, boys. It goes 12:30 p.m. Dallas Mavericks Minority Governor Mark Cuban live in studio for the entire hour here on our program. So mark your calendar, 12:30 p.m. right here on DLLS Mavs. Appreciate our guy Tanner making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. Don't forget our event tonight as well, 7 to 9 p.m. right here at DLLS Sports, where Bob is going to be educating us on basketball.
That's right.
Looking forward to that. That is our Mavericks analyst, Bobby Curl. That is our Mavericks beat writer, Tim Cotto. I am merely your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS Mavs. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 12:30, live in studio with Mark Cuban right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all be good. We'll talk to you later. Peace. Happy anniversary.
We all silly like the mayor.